Welcome back, Seekers. So, can we talk about how I've been on a hiatus for an eternity and there's no good damage builds on YouTube for some reason? I was trying to look and use some for research. I had to pull up like old builds that I had pictures of. So I have no clue how the last two wands work, but they work. So, I mean, I will show them off, so hopefully someone can explain. I did go on the wiki, and that is about as useful to me as about, a wall of text. So maybe at some point I'll read it, but if you want, like, true damage wands, by far, go to the wiki. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the wand builds. Alright, so I have quite a few spells. Most of the time on the wands, I'm using the wand refresh to mark like where I'm just storing spells. So look at where the wand refresh is. That is most of the time where the wand ends. So on this wand, it is a very basic accelerating shot with accelerative homing and heavy shots on a bouncy burst. This does quite a bit of damage. You have to fire it slightly down. It does 5,000 damage just gliding into them. Let's say you don't have that many heavy shots. It does still quite a bit of damage, so it's pretty easy to get. You don't even need like accelerative homing. You can use normal homing. It does less damage then, or if you don't use homing at all, it clearly doesn't home. But if you use just accelerative homing, it does very little damage. So it's not the best thing, but I mean, early on, this is a 3-spell combo. It's pretty useful. So yeah, there's that. As far as for just like starting spells, I've rarely found Meteor, but when I do find Meteor, it is so good. I do have explosion immunity, but it doesn't do explosive damage. It just sets you on fire. So it's very good early game because it does quite a bit of explosion damage to enemies. And then this is pretty common that you start with. It is pacifist safe, so that's very good. It gives you trick gold. It's very good. I like it. Fan of it. It does do explosive damage, so you have to be careful with it. So yeah, that's the like very basic spells right there. So let's just throw this up in the wall, boop. And then as far as with these ones, I highly recommend using mist wands. You can use any mists. Just throwing any damage. If you have just damage up or freeze charge. If you throw freeze charge on here, it'll do damage because this adds 5 ice damage, and it's pretty safe. Well, I mean, relatively safe because I'm using these for just ease of access. But for here, actually, let me make this more simple. So if you're just casting these 3 spells, don't mind that this is a 25 cast wand. If you cast these 3 spells, it creates a little homing mist that will go around and damage things. It doesn't damage you unless you have piercing on it. But even with piercing, oh, piercing doesn't get rid of the ice damage. Oh, that's good to know. So yeah, I didn't even know that. So if you have piercing on it, then it's not safe. It'll freeze you and do the damage that the freeze charge does. You learned something new, even though this has negative 15 damage, but that's only for projectile damage. With this build, however, even though it's very good at killing stuff, let's see if we can lure one of these doggles over. Any of these doggles, they all want to jump off the cliff. They don't want to deal with this. Let's make this like a frame so that it doesn't kill all of them. So let's see if we can just let's use teleporting cast. I don't want to. Oh, actually, you know what? This doggle is being cooperative. Wow, how nice. We can take all of these off. Boop. And so hopefully it gets stuck there. We didn't add a drilling shot to it, luckily enough. So yeah. It is very easy to build just a mist wand. They did nerf it way back when. I got my first victory with a mist wand. It is very good for just like clearing stuff. And you can use even like Venomous Curse. Venomous Curse is good. You do need a homing on this spell. You can use short range homing. It just has a shorter range of homing. It's like smaller. Or you can use accelerative homing. Another solution, even though this has charges, I'm going to pair it with the Wand Refresh. If you don't have these spells, then by all means, it's perfectly fine to work without them. But since I have them unlocked, I might as well show them. You can do something like, let's do just a mist. We'll leave all the homings and stuff off so it doesn't kill all the doggles. So when we spawn this, if a doggle jumps into it, they take quite a bit of damage from the venomous curse. And if it was tracking them, then it would just kill pretty much everything. Another one is Sawblade. Sawblade's very good if you have Noita. Because normally Sawblade, well, I mean, any type of Sawblade, but especially Omega Sawblade, it's pretty scary because it's an Omega Sawblade that follows you around and chops up the terrain, and it lasts for quite a bit. Like, yeah. It's relatively slow compared to the character, so you can dodge it if you know what you're expecting, but let's just make it super useful and do this. This spawns it on the enemy, and this spawns it away from us, so yeah. This will be super easy. And it lasts 1 frame, so it doesn't chase you anymore. It just spawns and kills. It's very good. You can divide it by 10, and then it would be just even better. Let's do that real quick. Boop. It does have a bit of knockback, but as most spells do. The end all be all is just touching yourself. I like Touch of Smoke because it just makes smoke. It's pretty nice. It's pretty. Obviously, this wand's stats are fixed and whatnot, and it costs a lot of mana. However, if you throw it at the end of a wand, like over here, and you have Gam Gam, it only costs 40 mana, and this costs 0 mana. However, do keep in mind, if you do have charges on this spell, do not do this build. You will end yourself unless you have a Wand Refresh. Because like the Wand Refresh, this is where the wand ends. But if I didn't have this, then it would go through all the charges, and then you'd cast this separately, you'd cast it on yourself, and it'd hurt as such. So yeah. Some other really good builds are explosive projectile builds. I don't know why this interaction is still in the game or how it interacts. It treats like the materials as a projectile or something, but even though they're a material, I don't know. It's weird. It's janky. I don't entirely know how it works, but it's still in the game. So like if you have summon eggs and explosive projectile, there's only 2 charges here. But if I wrap it with the wand refresh, then I won't use any charges, so I'll do that. But this is what it does. Oh, it would help if I cast the right wand. Boop. So it does quite a bit of damage, and it summons an egg, which, I mean, I kind of don't want the friends, so we're just gonna deal with them real quick. Yeah, there you go. 300 damage. This does do damage to you, so if you don't have explosion immunity, it will hurt you, so be careful with that. But it is very good if you use it on like a trigger. Then you can just spawn it somewhere else and do massive amounts of damage. This also works with all the material spells. So everything, the hollow egg over here, it works with stuff like that. And you can increase the damage with more explosive projectiles. So it will do more damage, and the explosion radius is bigger. So yeah. And still, one of the most broken things is accelerative homing and rock, or any homing and rock. Short homing, long homing. Anything with a physics object makes an incredible weapon. It will kill just about anything unless the enemy can eat the terrain. I don't have any more doggles to work with. That's unfortunate. That's okay. I'll just spawn a rock here. So this one has accelerative homing. If there is an enemy, it'll just fly faster and faster until it just like phases through the ground and shit. It's crazy. It is definitely a scary thing. And then you also have homing rock, which is very good as well. As the name says, it'll home onto enemies. You can kick it down the terrain. Since this only has 3 charges, you have to use it sparingly. It's like it's kind of just if you need to kill something and you don't have unlimited spells, you just have to kill that thing. It works on a majority of enemies, like the robot cop, the lancers down in the vault. It works on a lot of very difficult enemies. So I was gonna be cheeky and use the polymorphine to have the rocks follow after me. However, I had 2 hollow eggs with the projectile transmutation in them, so they transmutated themselves. So yeah, that didn't work out as intended. I'm glad to know that now. I don't think I knew that before. I'm gonna try it one more time before I touch the rocks now. Yeah, there we go. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to create a little barrier so that you don't get murked by the rocks. I'm glad the rocks didn't really care where we were. I will, however, do it one more time and be next to the rocks. We'll do it right here. Oh, I'm actually scared of these rocks now. Wait, why don't we just take a swig? Why do these rocks not care? Huh? You know, the more and more I play this game, the more and more I don't understand it. Are sheep immune to physics damage now? They're gonna suffocate in all these rocks. I was gonna make a haha funny and use a poly safety egg, but we have God Lamb rock over here. Okay, well, you know, let me just spawn in some rocks. Let me just, oh no, there was polymorphine. Yeah, like, whoo! Okay, I'm actually kind of scared. Okay, so yeah, like, make sure you have a poly safety egg. It's pretty easy to build. It is, I pretty much just get these 2 spells. It makes surviving so much more likely. It changes all the projectiles into sheep, which, I mean, if a rock is coming barreling at you at Mach 10, then you won't die instantly. So it's pretty good. It triggers every time you're polyed. So it triggers the first time you're polyed. This one was a spare egg, but if I was to get polyed, I'm kind of scared to get over here. I'm not going to show it off again. But once you use the egg, it has a hollow egg in your inventory, and then you have to recast it to get another poly safety egg. So actually, you know what? I'm going to carry another one because I'm scared for my life. Boop. To reiterate, I just have a divide by 10 on explosive projectile with cement. That is 1,300 damage, which is pretty decent. It's a very easy build to make. I don't think you really need that much damage to kill a majority of stuff in Noita. If you do need to kill stuff, then by all means these 2 wands will be sufficient enough. But for like early game and just getting up to God mode, you can use a plethora of spells. There's so much stuff that does a lot of damage. But yeah, this is my fallback because it does count as a pacifist kill, so that is very nice. I like that. One of the fun builds that I always forget about is prickly spore pod. I was gonna call it fungal spore pod, but I mean, I guess it's just prickly spore pod. So normally just homes, it explodes, pretty good. Just like by itself, I wouldn't question this damage. It's very decent. It does hurt you if even if you have explosion immunity, but if you don't have explosion immunity, it does quite a bit more damage. The pot or the the prickly things that shoot out of it are mainly what do damage, even if you have explosion immunity. However, if you throw piercing on it, then it becomes a menace. This is a 3-spell combo that is incredibly good. So it said 816, but it probably didn't add up all the damage. So yeah, it is very good. Just 3 spells. You don't even need like normal homing. You can use short range homing. Obviously, it is shorter range homing. It wasn't able to reach that time. It triggered somewhere over there. But yeah, and then accelerative homing probably doesn't do the best because it'll like eventually knock itself out, but it still works. So that is incredibly good. And then we have our rock, which I won't throw on because then I won't be able to get rid of it because I didn't make a ability wand. This wand just has a divide by 10 venomous curse on teleporting cast. You can make teleporting cast into a projectile pretty much. It works exactly like the slime mist. Like whatever spells you have, just make it into a weapon. It works. Okay. It works when it's not the testing dummy. You have to trust me on this because it teleports below it. I wonder if it'll work if we throw homing and venomous curse on. Okay. There, yeah, it works. Venomous curse doesn't work on the test dummies apparently. You have to give me some slack. I haven't played it in an eternity. Oh goodness, now it's just gonna be snowy in hell. Well, I'm glad that's done. Now we have to clean this up. Perfect. All right, and now let's look at these last two wands. This one, I remember saving it as a high damage wand. It's hard to hit this one though. I don't remember if this wand is supposed to do more damage. It kind of works like how this wand works. Okay, let me put in like as layman terms as I understand it. It make a lot of tentacles on you. You become tentacle damage, and then you fire damage spell. That's pretty. I don't know how it works. It does damage though. It's pretty high up in there in the damage range. It does use your health as damage, so you want to make sure that you have full heals and stuff. You have to stand a certain like distance away for it to get like big damage. But yeah, it's still pretty good. It is incredibly good for how like lag efficient it is. We will cast this one, which is very simple. It works the exact same way as how I described it. You can look in the wiki if you want to figure out how it works better. But this one does quite a bit more damage. Let me stand in this crack here and I'll fire it upwards. So my test dummies have a lot of health. Like I don't know how to iterate how much health this test dummy has. So I'll post it on screen. That is how much health that test dummy has. So it just obliterates it. I don't know if it just does damage cap or it just deletes whatever it touches. But regardless, that test dummy is not there anymore. Again, this is such an easy build. Getting these spells, like you have to unlock them. You have to, well, actually, I think you have to unlock Tentacle with timer because I know they can get Tentacle from the Frozen Vault. So I don't know if this is unlocked to start with. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't remember. But regardless, if you have to unlock it, it's in the Frozen Vault to the left. Spells to power. I don't know if you have to unlock this. I don't know if you have to unlock a lot of these spells. I don't think you have to unlock this. I think it's just a rare spell. Divide by tens, you have to do the music puzzles. Omega, you have to beat the alchemist. And then missile is just you find it on the ground. But again, this is the same test dummy as up there. We're going to remove this test dummy from existence. Let's see if I can not yeet myself into oblivion. Yep, they're gone. We don't even see a damage. It just removed it. So, yeah. Hopefully these builds help. I obviously focused more on the like early game spells and damage and whatnot, because like getting to this point, if you need this, you're fighting like 33 orb Colmy and you just want to delete them. I liked it better when you could just touch Colmy and then they die, but you know, I guess the devs didn't think that was too much fun. So yeah, but hopefully you learned something. I apologize. Like I said, I don't know how these wands work entirely. This one is a lot more lag friendly. I think I'll just cut how long it takes for this wand to cast, or I'll just keep it in to show how long it takes to cast this wand. But you do need to get like spell refreshes. I mean, if you're using this wand, you're just killing whatever target. You have 5 charges to kill whatever target you want to, or you could just swap it out with more divide by 10s. So yeah, it does the damage. But yeah, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I hope I showed Goat how to do some damage in Noita, because this is one of my like first short videos after coming back after my hiatus. So yeah, I apologize for not making more videos. I will try to make more videos anyway. Have a good rest of your evening, noon, and good night. Bye.